Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we got to talk about Netflix because you knew it was coming, but their password sharing crackdowns have begun here in the United States and in multiple countries. Now, here's what's happening. Today, the company released a blog post with this news. Now, in addition to the United States, as I just mentioned, Netflix did confirm that it will also be rolling out these crackdowns across all regions around the world, such as the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Mexico, Brazil, Singapore, Australia, and others. Quote, Netflix account is for use by one household. Everyone living in that household can use Netflix wherever they are, at home, on the go, on holiday, and take advantage of the new features like transfer profile and manage access and devices. Now, Netflix said that it's listened to members' feedback. Basically, if you recall, they piloted this in a few countries a few months ago, and this feedback allowed them to develop the following features that will give you, basically, who share Netflix beyond your household, more choice. So, the first one is manage devices. You can visit the manage account access page to review which devices are signed into your account and then sign out those that you don't want to have access. You can also transfer a profile. So on your account, you can transfer a profile to a new membership that they can pay for, meaning you're finally getting that X off of your thing or your mooching neighbor. You can just transfer them out. They got to go pay. Or you can buy an extra member. So you can share your Netflix account, but it's going to cost you $7.99 a month for somebody that doesn't live with you. Now, Netflix stock rose on the heels of this announcement before then dropping 2%. Investors have questioned to what degree password sharing crackdowns may turn off users, lower the user count, therefore lower the revenue. And here we are. And I think this opens up a whole lot of questions. So what happens, for example, if you're basically like, kind of like the Brady Bunch, you've got stepkids, you've got kids, you got stepkids, and let's say half the time they're spending it somewhere else with their mom or dad that you're no longer married to or connected with and all that, and they happen to be using their device at two households or locations. What happens with college students, in the same thing, your kid goes away to college and, he or she is using Netflix on their device through a campus network. Now, are they seeing that as a second household? What if you have two homes? Some people have summer homes or whatever. If you're Jeff Bezos, you got a yacht that goes around the world. If he's traveling to different geolocations, is that going to be a problem for Netflix? So these are the kinds of things that I think this opens up, a real can of worms at. So previously, a lot of these platforms, including HBO, said, yeah, go ahead, share, please. If you're bringing the content to more, as let's say the younger generation gets older, they have more disposable income. They'll start paying for their own, own services for Netflix. Longitudinally, that makes sense. So I'm wanting to see where this crackdown will be. But given the amount of devices that we have, the mobility that we have, et cetera, that's a huge thing. Let's say I'm, traveling. I travel a lot. A lot of you that are watching or listening to this have probably seen me on stage somewhere outside of my home state, city, or even country. And by virtue of that, if I'm showing up somewhere else, is that going to be a huge issue? If I'm within the United States, I'm still getting US Netflix, but now is it seeing me as a second household if I'm somewhere else for 2 weeks? These are things that we really need to understand. These are things that we need to really figure out. And what I could not find when I went searching was an actual explanation of how exactly they're doing this. And so the last thing I would want is, let's say I'm traveling and I'm, gone from home for 2 weeks, not on my IP address, not in my normal location. And the next thing I know, I'm being flagged as an outside household member, which could potentially shut my Netflix account down or make me pay more or have to disconnect that device when I just really need it because, well, quite frankly, I'm still in my household, even if I'm not there. So we're going to see what happens. I think this opens up a lot of questions. Are you going to ditch Netflix, though? And that is the question that I want to know. Are you going to stay with them if you're with them? And if you're not with them and say, well, I've never been with Netflix, good for you, I guess. But if you're with Netflix, will you stay or will you go? Let me know. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.